tell you all to let him go, let him get ejected at that spot?
No, I think that they happened so fast we couldn't really react to it. Unfortunate for me especially, sitting there having to coach the game at the end at a critical point where the game is turning in their favor. But these kids are resilient. They deserve all the credit. When you come to a school like Kentucky, it's not talked about a lot, but you have to overcome adversity. We teach it, we talk about it every day. Things aren't going to go your way in a game, just like life. How are you going to handle it? Who are you? What are you about? You may get a bad whistle, you may not. The team may play hot, they may play out of their minds. You got to find a way to get a win. We talk about this from the day we recruit them till the day they're in it. And so to see these kids fight through and come out the way they did is really gratifying.
Kenny, the internet has decided that Cal did that on purpose. I'm sorry. The internet has decided Cal did that on purpose.
I seriously doubt it. I wish if he had done it on purpose, he would have gave me a heads up, but he didn't.
Kenny, you guys outscored them 15-2 after the technical. What was the key to that run? And Arkansas could have been up by 7. You know, they missed a free throw, they missed a 3. How big was that the lead was only 3 and not bigger?
Well, I think to the first part of your question is 15. What? 15-2. So what we talked about was, look, it's crunch time. It's an execution game. So the last thing they're expecting us to do is to rebound and push the ball up the court. Well, that's what we did. We rebound that ball, we fly it up first. And then if we don't have anything, we're going to execute. And by doing that, we got a couple of layups, we got a wide open 3, and it opened the game up for us to give us a cushion.
Kenny, how you talked about dealing with adversity, you know, no Cal, Ashton's got 4 fouls, the crowd is going nuts. How big of a mountain do you think you guys climbed?
I think it was a huge mountain. I think, first of all, Coach Barbie doing the zone stuff was unbelievable. It gave us the ability to play Ashton Hagans with 4 fouls, which we need him on the floor. But on the other end, we ran a play called It's Ashton's Play where he gets to make decisions. And like a true point guard, he made the right decisions, which allowed the lead to go to 15-2 in that spurt.
And how much of a lift do you think you guys got from Johnny and Keon?
Well, the whole time I'm telling Keon, you have to grow up today. So I'm not taking you out. I need to know that you can get through this. I need to know that you're taking a test. How are you going to do in this test? He passed. I'm so proud of him because he's had a hard road. The pressure that he's been under to perform is a lot. The game is coming fast. He stood up and he came through for us. Really big day for him today.
Kenny, Cal is famously anti-zone, so when he's in the locker room, like as soon as he's out of the arena, do you and Kenny like high five and say let's do this while he's not looking?
I don't think he's anti-zone. I think that basically our hands were tied. One of our best players, our leader, Ashton Hagans, has 4 fouls. Well, how do we keep him in the game? If we stay man, they're going to drive him and he could get a foul and he's out. If we go zone, he's guarding the area. And so that's what we decided to do, which really helped us.
Kenny, in that first 5, 6, 7 minutes of the second half, you guys got a multitude of fouls. What were you seeing in that spell that, was going on?
Lack of focus a little bit. We teach playing defense with showing the refs our hands. There were points in the game where our hands were low. Well, if your hands are low, you're putting it in the ref's hand to make a judgment call. Don't do that. Hands high, let the ref see your hands.
What would you think of your defense today, and what was the key to holding Arkansas at 33%, I think it was?
I think we're a good defensive team. I think we're athletic. If we can find a way to keep you in front of us, our length comes into play. Our athleticism come into play. But at the end of the day, guys, we had 48 rebounds. They had 28. That's a lot. That's a lot of rebounding.
Jimmy Witt, you put a taller guy on them. You think that affected him in the first half?
No question. I really do. Just watching the film of him, he's an excellent mid-range player at a time when guys aren't putting a premium on mid-range. He's probably one of the best mid-range players in the country. But by putting an EJ and our 4 men on him, it caused them problems, their athleticism. So that was a good way that we defended him.
Kenny, your guards really rebounded today. How important was that?
Emmanuel quickly had 10. Thought he did a great job. I thought he did a great job down the stretch of leading us, being a leader. Guys, at the end of the day, our veterans have to be good. You look across the country and you see all these teams. There's not a lot of wiggle room for anybody. Nobody's more talented than anybody else. We say this every day. We can beat anybody or we can lose to anyone. Well, if you got sophomores and juniors for us at Kentucky, that's veterans. So those guys have to lead us, and they did a great job tonight.
Kenny, it seems like game after game comes down to the last 5-6 minutes, possession by possession. How much are you guys expecting that's the way it's going to be, and how much solace do you take that they handled it, pretty well?
A whole lot of solace. Really proud of the guys. Again, we teach the last 10 minutes of a game, the last 8 minutes of a game is winning time for us. So regardless of what has happened before that, it's going to come down to those last pivotal minutes of the game. You better embrace it. We talk about it in practice. We look at it on film. We talk about it when we watch NBA games, in playoff atmospheres. It's going to come down to critical points in games. How are you going to handle it? It's not going to be easy. Guys are going to make tough shots at critical times. You better make sure that we're executing defensively and executing offensively.
Kenny, we've talked about Nick in a bunch of different ways over his career. At first, what's wrong with him, and then can he keep this up? He's kept it up. So how should we be talking about Nick Richards now?
I think that you guys should look at Nick and go back to day one when he walked in this program and look at the kid. Look at the way he talked. Look at his words, his mannerisms, and then look at him today, 3 years later. He's more mature. He's more confident in who he is. He's feeling more comfortable in his own skin as a basketball player at a time when it's hard because everybody's saying that you have to be one and done. Well, here's a kid that's been here 3 years and has done nothing but overcome obstacles. Very proud of him. Like a son to me personally, but for this program to have a kid like him to grow as a person, not just as a basketball player, says a lot about this program, this university, and what we do as coaches.
Anything else?
Hey, Kenny, this isn't the first time Cal's been tossed. What sets him off, do you think? Why, usually coaches do not get ejected.
I wish I knew the answer to that other than, emotions run high in these games. We're playing at another team's home court. Things happen. Bad calls happen. Situations happens that the other team does stuff that, whatever, they play well. So there's going to be moments of emotions and overreacting and underreacting or whatever you want to call it. Again, I hate to say this like this. I wish he wouldn't have got tossed.
Kenny, what did he say to you on the way out of the arena, and what did he say to you when you got back to the locker room?
Nothing on the way out. Probably wanted to choke a few referees, but but when we got in, he gave me a hug and said, "I'm proud of you. I'm proud of these guys. They fought through." And I just told him, "This is what you've built, overcoming adversity." The momentum of that game was headed in their favor. This is a very good Arkansas team by their record and the way they play. They create a lot of mismatches. They got a lot of good players. And for us to come here and come out with a W against a well-coached team whose atmosphere and culture is changing, and Musselman's doing a great job here, says a lot about our team.
Thanks, guys.
All right, thank you.